Oh, this is part 8 of my Minecraft pixel art tutorial of Deathstroke. So we're going to work on filling in Deathstroke's face. So for this, there's a bunch of blocks that we're going to be needing for this. Alright, so let's start off with the gray wool. So starting off with the gray wool, we're going to move over here to, I think this is where we last left off in part 7. So let's move over here to the right a bit from part 7. To this T shape. On top of it, you're going to place 3 gray wools. So that's 1, 2, 3, just going across like that. And now let's switch to the jungle wood planks. I don't have any of this organized. As you can see, it's all a mess. Let's go with the jungle wood planks, and let's go over here to the left to this empty space. Starting on top of this black wool, you're just going to place 3 blocks going up. That's 1, 2, 3 with jungle wood planks. And then on top of this black wool, you're going to place another 3 blocks going up. 1, 2, 3. It should look like this. Now we're going to fill in these 2 empty spaces here with jungle wood planks. So let's fill those in. Now we're going to move up here and move to this 1 black wool. You're just going to place 1 jungle wood plank going, we'll place 1 block going diagonal up here. So, in other words, not underneath these 2 black wools. So, it's just going to be there. Just to close this part off, because we want this closed off. And the reason why we want this closed off is so we can fill this in with the jungle wood planks as well. So, it looks like that. Now, let's move up here and go to these 2 black wools. And starting from the top block on the left side, so from there, you're just going to place jungle wood planks going straight down. So that's there, going straight down. So we close this off, and then we can once again fill this in with the jungle wood planks. Although I did get a little ahead of myself, so we're going to get rid of some of these jungle wood planks. So we're going to switch over to the snow block. Now, with the snow block, moving it to the first set of jungle wood planks that I had you go down here. From the top block of the left side of these 2 black wools. So, going from here, we're just going to move straight down and get rid of this jungle wood plank. So, I'll get rid of that and replace it with snow. Now, I'm going to fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this so far. You can pause the video now if you need to, just to catch up or to compare. Now we're going to move over here to this black wool. Starting on top of the black wool, you're going to place 3 jungle wood, not 3. I'm getting ahead of myself again. 2, not 2 jungle wood planks. 2 snow. You don't do a tutorial for like over a week and you lose your sense of just instructions. Just giving out instructions. Ugh. So that's 2 blocks up. Okay, now you're going to place 3 blocks going up on the left side. So that's 1, 2, 3. And it should look like that. Okay, so now we're going to be switching over to... where is it? We're going to use... which block are we going to be using for this next part? I believe it's going to be the spruce wood. You know, I'm confused with the coloring. So, with the spruce wood, we're going to move up here on top of these 2 snow blocks. Starting on top of it, you're just going to place 2 blocks going up. So that's 1 and 2. So it should look like that. That's spruce wood planks. Alright, so now that we've got that, we're going to move back down here. Remaining with the spruce wood planks, you're going to fill in this empty space here with the spruce wood planks. So fill this in. Like so. And let's see, before we get too out of control with the blocks that we're going to be placing, I don't see that we have a white wool. Did I tell you that we needed white wool? Okay. I did, but for whatever reason, I don't have it in my inventory. That's strange. So we're going to switch to the white wool. It might have been a block that I just randomly threw away at part 7. Alright, so we're going to switch to the white wool, and we're going to move all the way up here to these 12 black wools going up, and as you can see, it's not really connecting to anything. We're going to start from the top block of these 12 blocks going up. That's his face. This is the line that kind of splits his face in half. But it's just a mask, not his actual face that splits in half. So, starting from the top block on the left side, so from there, you're going to place 2 blocks going diagonal down to the left. So that's 1 and 2. And it should look like this. Now you're going to place 2 sets of 2s going down on the left side. So that's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. Now place 3 blocks going down on the left side. 1, 2, 3. And now 5 blocks going down on the left side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're going to place 12 blocks going down on the left side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And it should be making contact with these 4 black walls here. Now we're going to be switching over to the snow block. So let's switch over to the snow block. And we're going to start down here on top of these 3 black walls that are making contact with these 4 black walls that are making contact with the 12 white walls. Starting on top of these 3 black walls, you're just going to place 4 snow blocks going up. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to move down, and we're going to place 1 snow block on the right side of the top block of the blocks that we started on to place the 4 snow blocks. So in other words, on the right side of this black wall. So now that we have that, from this 1 snow block, you're going to place 2 blocks going down on the left. No, not on the left, on the right side. 2 blocks down on the right. So that's 1 and 2. And then just place 1 block going diagonal down to the right. That's 1. And it should look like this. Now, from this 1 snow block, what you're going to be doing next is placing 3 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So from this block, 3 blocks diagonal down to the right. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And now you're going to place 2 sets of 2s going down on the right side. That's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. And I'll place 1 block going diagonal down to the left. That's 1. And then 1 block going diagonal down to the right. That's 1. And now place 2 sets of 2s going down on the right side. That's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. And now place 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. That's 1 and 2. And it should look like this. Okay, now comes for what I hope won't be too annoying and too confusing part. So let's get rid of all of these blocks, just so we don't get confused. Let's start off with the black wool. Now with the black wool, we're going to be doing a similar pattern. If you recall, we did this pattern down here, but it's not just going to be involving just the black wool and bedrock. We're also going to be involving some other block. I think it's the stone that we're going to be involving. But first, we're going to start off with the black wool, and we're going to use this pattern, starting on top of the left block of these 3 gray wools going across. So starting from there. With the black wool, you're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal down up to the left. 3 blocks diagonal up to the left. That's 1, 2, 3. Now this is also going to be just going patterns going diagonal up to the left and moving 1 block over. So what this means is now that we place these 3 blocks going diagonal, we're going to skip a space starting from the beginning point. So starting from the beginning point, this was the first block that we placed. Skip a space and then start from there to the right. So starting from there now, you're going to place 8 blocks going diagonal up to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 blocks. Let's get rid of those. Now let's move back up here instead of starting from there because this is all too confusing. Hopefully it's not that confusing, but starting from where we just left off, that last block that we just finished placing of the 8 blocks, what we're going to do is move up here to the snow block, and on the right side of it, so starting from there, you're going to be placing 6 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's get rid of those. Now we're going to move back again to the starting block that we had here. So going back over here, we're going to switch to the placement block and put a placement block on top of that black wool. Then switch back over to the black wool. Now starting on top of this placement block, you're going to place 3 black wools going diagonal down to the right. So 3 diagonal down to the right. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Let's go back up here to the starting block and place 1 block going diagonal up to the right. That's 1. And it should look like this. Now what we're going to be doing next is switching over to the gray wool. So let's switch over to the gray wool. And let's go to these 3 black wools here that are going diagonal. And starting from the bottom block of the 3, so down here, you're going to be adding 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So that's 1 and 2. So it should look like this. Now let's go back up here to this 1 black wool. Now from this 1 black wool, you're going to do this exact same thing and place 2 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So that's 1 and 2. So it should look like this. Okay, so now moving back again to the starting point of the 3 black wools going diagonal, starting from that 1 black wool there. Okay, so you're going to be placing 6 gray wools going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 gray wools going diagonal. And then you're going to fill in this empty space here with the gray wool. So just fill this in. So it kind of looks like this. So now that we fill that in, you're also going to start from this empty space, and you're just going to add another 5 blocks going diagonal down to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and up. We've come across the sand, or not the sand, but the snow. We didn't need it. I guess I got confused with this. So that was just it. That was just 5. It was 5 instead of 6. So it should look like this. But we can make it 6 by continuing the pattern by going up here. So you can see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can also make it 6 by placing a black wool on top of these 4 black wools. So place there. Ah! Felix should not take vacations from pixel art tutorials because it just messes him up. Okay, so now that we've got that, you can see that we also have some empty spaces here. We can go ahead and fill these empty spaces by switching over to the, well, not yet, not just yet. I don't want to confuse you with this pattern. We'll do the filling in after we're done with this annoying pattern. Okay, so now that we've got the gray wools going that way, we're going to move back over here. Let's see, how can we make this less confusing? By making it... let's go back down here to this 1 black wool. So going back again to this 1 black wool. So from that black wool, you're going to be placing 7 gray wools going diagonal up to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's get rid of those. And now what you're going to be doing next is switching over to the stone block. So let's switch over to the stone block. And we're going to continue the path of it going diagonal Now, starting from that block, you're going to add 2 blocks going diagonal up to the left. That's 1 and 2. And it should look like this. Okay, so now we're going to switch to, let's see. Yeah, we'll remain with the stone block. We'll continue this path. Alright, so we're going to skip a space here and move up here to this stone block, or not stone block, but the snow block with the stone block. So moving to this snow block on the right side with the stone block, so from there, you're going to be placing, also, we can start on top of it. You're just going to place 1 stone block on the right and 1 stone block on top of the snow block. So it looks like that. And now we're going to be switching over to the gray wool again. Now, starting from that stone block there, that's on the right side of the snow, you're going to be placing 10 blocks going diagonal down to the right. 10 blocks diagonal down to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's get rid of those. And it should look like this. Go ahead and pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. Okay, so now let's go back down here, and we're going to move to these, it's going to be 4, but I want you to just concentrate on these 3, but technically it is 4. It's 4 black wools here, but we're going to concentrate on these 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. Just concentrate on those 3. And from those 3, we're going to start from the middle block on the left side of it, so starting from there. So starting from there, you're going to be placing 10 gray wools going diagonal up to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's get rid of those. And then we're going to switch to the stone block, and we're going to continue it just by placing 1 block going diagonal up to the left. So that's 1. And it should look like this. Now, just to make this easier on ourselves, we're going to skip a space from this stone block going up, and then put a stone block there next to that white wool. And then we're going to skip a space again, so skipping this space and moving from to there. You're going to be placing 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. That's 1 and 2. I don't know why my little thing is over there. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to move back again to this block because we don't care about the blocks that go up to the right, like these blocks here. We only care about the starting point blocks. So moving back to the starting point block, skip a space starting from there. You're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal up to the right. That's 1, 2, and 3. Going back again, skip a space going up, starting from there. You're going to be placing 6 blocks going diagonal up to the right. 6 blocks diagonal. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's get rid of those. Now we're going to be, instead of starting from this block, because going up and here, there's a white block in the way, we're going to move to this stone block and skip a space and start from there. So starting from there, you're going to be placing 5 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go back to the starting point, skip a space. Starting from there, you're going to be placing another 5 blocks going diagonal up to the right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Get rid of those. This time, starting from the second block, because this one is getting blocked by a white wool. Starting from there, skip a space. Starting from that white wool on the right side of it, you're going to be placing 4 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Get rid of those. And once again, we're going to start from the second block instead of the first one. We're going to skip a space and start from there. You're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal up to the right. That's 1, 2, and 3. So I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this so far. You can go ahead and pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. Okay, so now the reason why I did this, like I laid it out like that, is that you should be able to tell by now that this pattern consists of just a checkerboard. It's just a checkerboard of just a blank space and whatever type of block I told you to use. So, to save me the trouble of instructing you, all I want you to do is fill in this empty space here, not just with a solid block, but with the pattern of the gray wool. What does that mean, Felix? That means if this is what I just want you to do. This, I'll do an example. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't. I'm just showing you an example. I'll show you an example real quick. Just real quick. For those of you who did understand what I meant, shout out to you. So consider this an empty space, and I just told you to fill that in with like the same checkerboard pattern. So you're going to be filling it in, not actually filling it in, but filling it in with the checkerboard pattern. So you would do that. It's like, there you go, Felix. I filled in that empty space with a checkerboard pattern. That's what I want you to do. Just fill it in with the checkerboard pattern. I will not always be using this checkerboard pattern. Not always, but sometimes. So now what I want you to do is fill in this empty space here with the gray wool checkerboard pattern. So it shouldn't be too hard. I really hope it's not too hard. But I'm not going to time-lapse it. I will time-lapse it in the future, but right now I won't. So we're just going to be... not there. It shouldn't be too hard. Again, just be aware of where you're placing the blocks. Put in there. So put that there. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier than I'm making it sound. So just fill this in with the checkerboard pattern. Okay, let's get rid of those. I mean, I should be able to time-lapse it. I'll time-lapse it now. Starting from now, I'll time-lapse it. And then you can go ahead and pause the video to see if you've done everything correctly so far. And when you are done filling it in, it should look like this. It's a very confusing checkerboard pattern, but I am glad that I was able to finally put it into just words, telling you where to place them. So now we're going to move down here. I don't know. This kind of looks like it's a little hard to see, only because of the sky in the background. What I want you to do is move to this area here. Going back to the snow blocks, as you can see, there's these 2 empty spaces. Every space up here has 1 single empty space, but this one, there's 2 empty spaces going up. So we're going to fill in those 2 empty spaces. Now with the gray wool, we're going to place 1 gray wool on top of this snow block, so place 1 there. And then you're going to be switching over to the bedrock. So let's switch over to the bedrock and place 1 bedrock on top of this gray wool. Now I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look like this. Okay, so now that we've got that, what we're going to do next is switch over to, so this could be easier and we don't make any mistakes. We're going to be switching over to the sand block. So let's switch over to the sand block now. And we're going to fly all the way back up to the 12 black wools going up. Now we're going to start from the bottom block of the 12 and move over to the right. And we're going to start on top of these 8 black wools. So starting from there, right next to the 12 black wools, you're going to be placing 13 sand blocks going straight up. 13. You don't have to count, because you should know that it's just going to be 1 block over the 12, because 12 is 1 block higher than, or 1 block below, I should say, 13. So there it is. 13 sand blocks going straight up. And now we're going to be switching over to the orange wool for just a moment. Now with the orange wool, we're going to do a same thing, or similar. It's not going to be the same, but we're going to move down here, and this time we're going to start on top of these 4 black wools. Starting on top of it, you're going to be placing 13 orange wools going up. 13. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 13 orange wools. And now we're going to be switching over to the gold block. So switching to the gold block, starting on top of the orange wools, you're going to be placing 10 orange wools, or not 10 orange wools, 10 gold blocks. 10 gold blocks going straight up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now place 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the right. That's 1, 2. And then 1 block going diagonal up to the right. That's 1. And it should look like this. Okay, so now we're going to be switching over to the snow block. Where's our snow? There's our snow. And you're just going to fill in this empty space here with the snow block. So fill that in. And once you've filled that in, I want you to move over here to the left. And as you can see, there's this one single empty space that's in between the black wool and the white wool. And I guess you can also count a little bit of the sand and the gold block. But you're going to be filling in this single empty space here with the snow block. So go ahead and do that now. Staying within the outline, that means not going over and filling in those single empty spaces there of the pattern. So just fill in this one single space with the snow block, and it should look like that. Okay, so now that we've got that, we're going to be switching back over to the orange wool. Now with the orange wool, we're going to move over here into this empty space. And we're going to start on top of these 3 black wools. We're not going to count that because technically it is 4, but we're only going to focus on the 3. So going to these 3 black wools here, starting on top of the left block, so starting from there, what you're going to be doing is hugging the outline. I'm not sure if I used this term in this tutorial. I believe I did use it before in the past, but we're going to be hugging the outline. That means going straight up, just placing the same amount of blocks that are already placed with the black wool, and we're going to stop right there because we already have orange wool there, so we're going to stop right there. So let's go ahead and hug the outline starting from there. So we're just hugging the outline. So this is 3 black wools. We put 3 orange wools. That's 2 black wools, 2 orange wools. It's a lot easier than it sounds. So let's just hug the outline with the same amount of block numbers of a different color, and it should look like that. Okay, go ahead and pause the video now if you need to, if it was a little too confusing. But let's go back down here to the starting point of those 3 black walls. This time we're going to start on top of the right block. So starting from there, you're going to place 3 blocks going diagonal up to the right. That's 1, 2, 3. And now 2 blocks going up on the right side. That's 1, 2. So it looks like this. And now that we've got that, there should be no room for confusion. What you're going to be doing next is switching it to the bedrock, and I am going to time-lapse this next part, so be aware of that. You're going to be filling in all of these small single empty spaces. This checker pattern that you made, all those single empty spaces that we left behind, they all get filled in with the bedrock. So do that now. And when you are done filling it in, it should look like this. So now we're going to be working on more of his face. I believe we'll be able to finish most of his face in this tutorial part. If not, I will make it happen then. Let's just put all of these blocks away because it's confusing me at the moment. What we're going to be doing is switching over to the orange wool. So let's move to the orange wool, and let's move to this line that's going diagonal down to the right. That's below this kind of shadow part of his eye. And we're going to start on top of the bottom block of these 7 black wools going diagonal. So starting on top of this black wool, you're just going to be placing 6 blocks going up to the right. Just, in other words, hugging the outline. So starting from there, just going to move up with the orange wool. So it looks like this. Now we're going to be switching over to the spruce wood. Now with the spruce wood, we're going to place 1 block on top of this black wool. So place 1 spruce wood there. Now we're going to be switching over to the orange wool, and we're going to move back down to this area straight from here. Just going straight down and starting from the bottom block on the right side of these 3 black wools. What you're going to do is just hug the outline until you reach the top of this black wool. So just hug the outline with the orange wool. So it looks like this. Go ahead and pause now if you need to. Now let's switch over to the pumpkin. Now with the pumpkin, we're going to place 1 pumpkin in between this orange wool and this spruce wood. So let's place it there. Now let's switch back over to the spruce wood and place 2 blocks going across on top of these 2 blocks. So place 2 spruce wood going across like so. And then you're going to, once again, place another 2 blocks going across on top of these spruce woods. So place another 2. So it looks like this. And then you're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal up to the right. That's 1, 2, 3. Now let's move back over here to the left block of these 2 blocks going across. So starting from that block, you're going to place 1 block going diagonal up to the left. That's 1. And it should look like that. So now just to finish off with the spruce wood, we're going to move over here to the left side of his eye. In fact, we're going to move directly underneath the eye to these 4 black wools here. Underneath it, you're going to be placing 4 spruce wood going across. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to be placing, or just to make this easier on ourselves, we're going to move to the next block up here to the right and just place 1 spruce wood. So place 1 there. And then we're going to move up to the right again, and starting from the next black wool, underneath it, you're going to place 2 blocks going down. That's 1, 2. And then we're going to move up to the next block to the right, and starting underneath it, you're going to place another 2 spruce wood going down. That's 1 and 2. So I'll fly back a bit so you can see. It should look like this. Now we're going to be switching over to the pumpkin, and let's move back over here to the left, going back to these spruce wood, and starting on top of the right block of the 2 blocks going across. So from there, place 2 pumpkins going up. That's 1, 2. Now you're going to switch over to the sand block. Now with the sand, you're going to place 1 sand block on top of the pumpkin. So place 1 there. And let's switch back to the pumpkin. Well, now while we have the pumpkin out, we're going to move down here. Going back over here to where we hugged the outline, you're going to fill in this single empty space here with the pumpkin. So fill that in. Now let's go back up here to where we had the sand. You're going to switch over to the orange wool now. Now starting on top of the sand block, with the orange wool, place 2 blocks going across to the left. That's 1, 2. Now starting from the right block of the 2 blocks going across, so from that block, place 1 block going diagonal up to the right. That's 1. And now place 3 blocks going up on the left side. That's 1, 2, 3. And now you're going to place 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the left. That's 1, 2. And then place 1 orange wool on top of the left block. So place 1 there. Now you're going to switch over to the pumpkin, and on top of this black wool, you're going to place 1 pumpkin. So place 1 there. Now switch back to the orange wool and fill in this empty space here with the orange wool. So it looks like this. Now let's switch over to the pumpkin and fill in this single empty space down here with the pumpkin. So fill this in. So it should look like this. Now let's switch over to the orange wool, and from this area we're going to move to the right, and starting on top of these black wools, you're going to place 2 orange wools going up. So that's 1, 2. Now switch over to the gold block, so let's switch over to the gold. Now starting next to the orange wool, starting at the bottom block of it, so on the right side, place 3 gold blocks going up. That's 1, 2, 3. And now fill in this empty space here with the gold block. So fill this in. It should look like this. Now we're going to move to the right to this backwards L shape here. And we're going to switch over to the yellow wool. So switch to the yellow wool. And starting on top of this black wool, the right block of these two black wools going across, from that block, place 2 yellow wools going up. That's 1 and 2. Now switch over to the sand block and place 1 sand block on top of the yellow wool. Now let's move back over here and fill in these 3 empty spaces here with the sand block. So fill that in. So it should look like this. Now we're going to be switching over to the pumpkin. Now from this area here, we're just going to move down into the right. And on top of this black wool, you're going to place 1 pumpkin. And as you can see, you created a small empty space there. And once you've done that, you're going to switch to the sand and fill in that space with the sand block. So fill that in. Now we're going to switch back over to the pumpkin, and we're going to fill in this empty space here with the pumpkin block. So fill this in with the pumpkin. So it looks like this. And now we're just going to be placing 4 pumpkins going across, continuing the path going to the right. So place 4, that's 1, 2, whoops, not the face. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like this. And fill in this small empty space here with the pumpkin as well. Now let's switch over to the gold block. Now starting on top of this pumpkin, that's also next to these 2 black wools. So starting from there with the gold, place 3 blocks going up. That's 1, 2, 3. Switch over to the sand block, and now with the sand, place 2 sand blocks going across on top of these 2 black wools. So that's 1, 2. Now switch back over to the gold block and fill in this remaining empty space here with the gold. Let's fill this in. And it should look like this. Now remember, if it's going a little too fast for you, make sure to hit that pause button. Now that we've got that, we're going to be switching over back to the sand block, and let's follow this path that you see here that leads us down here to these 4 black wools going across with this 1 black wool on top of the 4 black wools. Now next to this black wool, you're going to be placing 2 sand blocks going across to the right. That's 1, 2. And now, starting on top of this black wool, what you're going to be doing is hugging the outline going all the way up until you reach these 3 black wools. You're also going to be hugging this outline of the 3 black wool. So go ahead and do that now. Just hug the outline of the black wool with the sand block until you reach there, because you can't place any blocks up here by themselves because they'll fall, because sand needs some block to support themselves so they don't fall. So it should look like this. Now we're going to be switching over to the placement block. Now with the placement block starting on top of these 3 sand blocks, so starting from there. Okay, starting from there. With the placement block, you're going to place 3 placement blocks going across to the right. That's 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to be switching over to the yellow wool. Now with the yellow wool, starting on top of this placement block, so starting from there. You're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal down to the right. That's 1, 2, and 3. Let's get rid of those. It should look like this. Now it does look like I didn't finish placing all the black wools now that I'm looking at it. So why don't we work on finishing with the black wools here. Finish placing all the black wools of this outline. So let's see where we're going to start. Where? Let's see. Let's start from up here, just so we're not too confused. Where we had the sand block and the yellow wool, let's go and find these 2 black wools that are coming from these 6 black wools going up. So find these 2 black wools that are just sticking out to the left. Starting from the left block, you're going to place 6 blocks going down on the left side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now, starting underneath it, you're going to add 2 blocks going across to the right. Starting underneath it, add 2 blocks going across to the right. So, that's 1 and 2. So it looks like this. As you can see, it's on the same level as these 4 black wools going across. And now place 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the right. That's 1, 2. Now starting from the left block of the 2 blocks going across, so from that block, place 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1 and 2. So it looks like this. Now you're going to be placing 1 block going diagonal down to the left. That's 1. Now 6 blocks going down on the left side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now place 3 blocks going diagonal down to the left. That's 1, 2, 3. Now 2 blocks going across on the lower level to the left. That's 1, 2. And now to connect these two, you're going to place 1 block going diagonal down to the left. That's 1. And it should look like this. Now we're going to move all the way back up, back over here to the 6 black walls going down, and then we added the 2 blocks going across underneath it. So we're going to move back over here, back to this area. And this time, we're going to start from the left side of the 2 black walls going across. So starting from there, I'll put a placement block so you're not too confused. Starting from that block, you're going to be placing 3 blocks going diagonal down to the left. That's 1, 2, 3. And now 6 blocks going down on the left side. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 1 block going diagonal down to the left. That's 1. Now 2 sets of 2s going across on the lower level to the left. It's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. And now to connect it, you're just going to place 1 block going diagonal down to the left. That's 1. Now I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this so far. Go ahead and pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. So now we're going to move back up here once again to these 2 black walls going across and these 6 black walls going down. This time we're going to switch to the placement block. Now with the placement block starting on top of the 6 black walls going down on the left, so starting from there, you're going to be placing 2 placement blocks going across to the left. That's 1, 2. Now switch over to the black wall, starting on the left side of the placement block, place 3 blocks going down. That's 1, 2, 3. Let's get rid of the placement blocks, and then just add 1 black wall on the middle block of these 3 blocks on the left side of it. So from the middle block on the left, add 1 black wall there. Now switch over to the sand block and place 1 sand block on top of this black wall, and 1 sand block on top of this black wall. So it looks like this. And now we're going to be switching over to the gold block. Now with the gold block underneath the 3 black walls here that we placed, you're going to be placing 4 gold blocks going down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Should look like this. Now we're going to be switching over to, let's see, to make this easier on ourselves, we're going to need the pumpkin for this, and we're also going to be needing placement blocks. So let's get the pumpkin section out of the way so we don't have to worry about it. Let us go down here, just following this path so you don't get lost. Following this path here, that's next to the gold, just going down here. I want you to be at these 2 sets of 2s going across on the lower level to the left. Now we're going to also be needing the snow block to make this a lot easier on ourselves. With the snow block starting on top of these 2 black walls that are making contact with this 1 black wall, place 2 snow blocks going across, so that's 1, 2. And then place 1 snow block on top of the left block of this snow block, of the 2 blocks going across. Place 1 snow block there. So it's an L shape. Now switch over to the pumpkin and place 1 pumpkin on top of the 1 snow block. So place 1 there. Oh, I was afraid of this. Dang it! Okay. we're gonna have to kind of change this. So again, go back to having the 2 snow blocks here. Just as a placement holder, we're going to place 1 pumpkin instead of that 1 snow block. So it looks like this, because we don't want that snow golem. Okay, and then we're just going to place another pumpkin. So it's still an L shape with 2 snow blocks going across with the 2 pumpkins going up here. Now we're going to break this one. Break the 1 pumpkin that's there. So we have this floating pumpkin. Now switch over to the snow block and then place 1 snow block on top of this snow block so we don't get the snow golem. So it looks like that. I forgot. I knew what was going to happen, but I just forgot which order I had to place it first so it wouldn't do it. That's why I was saying this is probably going to be confusing. So let's start down here first. Alright. So now that we've got this annoying part out of the way, we're going to switch back over to the pumpkin. I believe there might be another area as well that I'm going to have to deal with that. Or maybe I might be thinking of a different pixel art. But anyways, starting on top of this snow block this time, you're going to be placing 6 blocks going up. 6 pumpkin. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now place 4 blocks going diagonal up to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Get rid of the placement blocks because you need them. And it should look like this. Now you're going to be switching over to the snow block, and with the snow block in between this black wool and this pumpkin that's underneath these gold blocks, you're going to place 1 snow block on top of this black wool. So place 1 there. Switch over to the orange wool, not the orange wool, sorry. Switch over to the pumpkin now. Now with the pumpkin starting on top of this 1 snow block that you just placed, you're going to be placing 7 blocks going up with pumpkin. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it should look like this. So now that we have that, we're going to be switching over to the snow block. Now with the snow block following this empty path, following just this single empty path, you're going to be filling in these 4 empty spaces here, these 3 single empty spaces, and this 1 long space here. Fill those in with the snow block. And it should look like this. Okay. Now, we're going to switch over to the spruce wood, so this can be a lot less confusing for us in the future. What you're going to be doing is, as you can see, we created this 1 small empty path that we followed and filled this in with the snow. If we fly back a bit, you can see that there's another empty path in between the black wools that just goes up here by itself. What you're going to be doing is filling in this single empty path that starts here. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just start from here to make it less confusing. Starting from this empty space, following this empty path in between the black wool, and stopping from these 2 empty spaces, we're going to fill that in. That's going to be the stopping point. Just fill that in with the spruce wood. So switch to the spruce wood and fill in this empty space path that goes up to the right with the spruce wood. Oops. So it looks like this. Now with the spruce wood, we're going to move over here to these 2 black wools, and starting underneath the right block, so starting from there, you're going to place 3 blocks going down. That's 1, 2, 3. Now switch over to the jungle wood planks. So let's switch over to the jungle wood planks. And you can see that there's a total of 3 of these single empty spaces here. You're going to fill in these 3 single, or I should say 6. There's 6 single empty spaces. Fill those 6 empty spaces here with the jungle wood planks. So it looks like that. Alright, so let's move up here and let's switch over to the spruce wood planks. Now, with the spruce wood planks, we're going to move back over here to the 2 black wools, this time starting on top of the left block. So with there, just place 1 spruce wood plank, and then 5 blocks going up on the left side. 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then switch over to the spruce wood and place 1 spruce wood on top of the 5 spruce wood planks. Let's place 1 there. Switch back over to the spruce wood planks. Next to the spruce wood, place 2 blocks going across to the right. That's 1 and 2. Switch over to the jungle wood planks now. So switching back over to the jungle wood planks, starting underneath the right block of the 2 blocks going across. So starting from there with jungle wood planks, place 5 blocks going down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now switch back to the spruce wood and fill in these 2 empty spaces here, this space and this space, with the spruce wood. So fill that in. And it should look like this. As you can see, there is a lot of detail that has been put into this pixel art. And I don't want to go too overboard when it comes to time, so we'll just start to finish in this single part and we'll leave the rest for a later part. Okay, so let's see, we'll start with these jungle wood planks. Now with the jungle wood planks, remaining with the jungle wood planks, actually let's switch over to the spruce wood planks. Remember, we had this empty space here, or these 6 single empty spaces here filled in with the jungle wood planks. Now with the spruce wood, we're going to move to these 3 black walls here, and you can see there's another 3 black walls underneath it with this 1 space separating them. You're just going to fill this 1 space with the spruce wood, so it looks like this. Now switch over to the jungle wood planks. On the left side of the spruce wood, place 1 jungle wood plank, so place 1 there. Now, starting underneath this black wall, with the jungle wood planks, you're going to place 4 blocks going down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's move back up here to this empty space. You're just going to fill this in with the jungle wood planks. So fill this in with the jungle wood planks now. So it looks like that. Now we're going to switch over to the spruce wood planks. Now with the spruce wood planks, we're going to move over here to this black wall. Now, starting underneath this black wall, you're going to place 4 spruce wood planks going down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to be switching over to the brown wool. So switching over to the brown wool now. Switch to the brown. Underneath the 4 spruce wood planks, place 2 blocks going down with brown. That's 1 and 2. Now 2 blocks going diagonal down to the left. That's 1 and 2. And as you can see, there's these 2 black walls going across here. On top of these 2 black walls, you're going to be placing 2 brown walls going across. So that's 1, 2. So it should look like this. Now place 1 block going diagonal down to the left. That's 1. And starting on top of this black wall, you're going to be placing 7 blocks going up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I place 2 blocks going across on the upper level to the right. That's 1, 2. And then 2 blocks going diagonal up to the right. That's 1 and 2. Now you're going to be switching over to the spruce wood planks. Now with the spruce wood planks, you're going to fill in this single empty space here, staying within the black wool outline. Fill this in with the spruce wood planks. Do that now. So it looks like this. Now you're going to be switching over to the snow block. So let's switch over to the snow block. And you're going to be filling in these 4 empty spaces here that are in between the black wool, the jungle wood planks, and the brown wool. Just fill these empty spaces here with the snow block. So that's 1, and that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. So those are the 4 empty spaces that you should have filled in with the snow block. Alright, so now that we've got those filled in, we can also switch over to the spruce wood. Now with the spruce wood, if you recall, we had the outline, or not the outline, but the empty path here that we filled in with the spruce wood. Underneath it, you can see that there's a single empty space. You're just going to fill in this small space with spruce wood, so fill that in. Move over here to the right, fill in this empty space here with spruce wood. Now we're going to move to the right again and fill in this empty space here with spruce wood as well. And then we're going to move over here to the right again and fill in this empty space here with the spruce wood. Let's fill this in. I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look like this so far. Now let's switch over to the spruce wood planks. So let's switch over to the spruce wood planks, and let's move to the left and fill in this single empty space with spruce wood plank. Let's fill that in. Switch over to the pumpkin. Fill in this empty space here with the pumpkin. So fill that in. Now we're going to switch over to the spruce wood planks again and move to this empty space. Now starting on top of the right block of these 2 black walls going across. So from there, you're just going to place 3 blocks going across to the left. That's 1, 2, 3. And then place 1 spruce wood plank on top of the right block. So place 1 there. Switch over to the pumpkin. Fill in this empty space here that we just made with the pumpkin. Switch back over to the spruce wood planks and fill in this empty space with the spruce wood planks. Now I'll fly back a bit so you can see that it should look exactly like this so far. You can go ahead and pause the video now if you need to, just to compare. So this was a very lengthy part, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to pause here and continue my Deathstroke Minecraft pixel art tutorial in part 9. Now remember, if you want to request a Minecraft pixel art tutorial in the future, make sure to check out the latest Pawu and leave your request there. It could be an anime character, it can be a cartoon character, a video game character, celebrity, whoever you would like. Just a friendly reminder. Now with all that being said, make sure to stay tuned in for more Minecraft videos.